Someone's brought the cousins into the Tub Talks, guys. Ew. So good girls, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Tub Talks. You guys honestly have exceeded my expectations for just how many dilemmas you sent in. I'm sorry that so many of you are going through some form of conflict or something that's really jamming your brain up. But I guess that is the importance of the series. I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough to reach out to me, although it is anonymous, and share it with the channel. So come on group girls, let's just get straight into it. This is not important lol, but do you have any tips for not having your hair too greasy? I feel like my hair gets oily so fast. Can I just say I also have a story to this one? So I sent this to Callum because obviously he edits my videos, and he put it on his story as if like I just asked him for tips, which was very sweet of him. But I know it sounds really stupid, but not washing your hair for at least a week really helps, and it just gets the natural oils back in your hair, and eventually you will be able to wash your hair for less consecutive days. Does that make sense? So for example, right now you're probably having to wash your hair maybe every day because of how greasy it's getting, but that's actually contributing to the problem. If you leave it and just honestly, especially now we're in a lockdown, just force it out and not wash your hair for about a week, use dry shampoo, etc. if you do have to go out anywhere, or maybe do what I do and wear a bandana to cover up the greasiness. I know it will feel gross for this week, but I promise you it will sort your hair out. Then from that point on, just wash your hair maybe every 3 to 4 days. That's what I do. And yeah, but every time I bleach my hair, it does get greasier because it's just stripping it from its natural oil. So that is probably the best tip I can give you. In talks of dry shampoo though, putting it in before you go to sleep actually helps, I've heard, so maybe try that tip as well. I don't know if you use dry shampoo already, but that's only covering the problem, not solving the problem. I'm starting uni this year and I'm not on any kind of birth control, and I feel like I should be, but I don't want to have the awkward conversation with my mum. Is it bad of me not to tell her? Also, I struggle swallowing pills, so I wondered if you knew anything about the patch. I don't actually know anything about the patch, but we can research together. But what I will say is, in talks of birth control, definitely do your research. It took me so long to find a pill that I'm happy on, and to be honest, I won't really know I'm happy on it until maybe a year's time. I thought I was happy on Redevijon, and it turns out I definitely was not. It completely changed me as a person. I don't know if you guys know much about my pill journey, but like I've done a lot of videos on how it affected my skin, how it affected my mental health. I spoke a lot about it in the sex talk videos that we do, but I was on it for 7 to 8 years. I went on it for period cramps because they were unbearable, and pretty much the NHS put me on it because it's the cheapest pill that they can give people, which is why it is so widely used. And you will have heard so many horror stories because so many people are on it. Obviously it can work for some people, but for the majority like me, it really messed with my mental health. And when I came off it, I just couldn't believe the person I was. I was so nice, I was so underreactive. Like every situation that I usually would get instantly irritated about and go in a mood or upset with or anything like that, I really didn't care. I know you said that you struggle swallowing pills, but the pill that I'm on, which is the Yasmin pill, it is tiny, absolutely tiny. Contraceptive pills do tend to be quite small. Obviously it depends on which one you get, but if you are worried about this and it is a major issue, Byron has the same, he can't swallow tablets, he literally has to like crush them up or something, then definitely go to your doctor. I cannot give you advice because I don't know your medical history, I don't know you as a person, what you suffer with, I don't know your family's medical history, so I can't advise you anything. But if you do your own research and definitely watch YouTube videos on people's experiences with any form of contraception, and then go to your doctor with all of the facts, then that should give you the result. I don't think you need to tell your mum at all. If you're going to university, you're over the age of consent obviously, so some people do use this for intimate reasons, but majority of the time people do go on it for other reasons like migraines or period cramps or I don't know, an overly heavy flow. You're probably around the age of 18 as you're starting uni, so yeah, I don't think you should tell your mum. You're an adult, you don't need to. I get really scary and intrusive thoughts and often get scary images in my mind that keep me up at night and make me feel unsafe or anxious. I really don't know what to do about them, and it's hard to open up to people because I think people may judge me or think I'm silly, so what do I do? I can't really give you too much advice on that apart from seek medical help in the sense of a therapist. A therapist might be able to help you stop having your scary and intrusive thoughts. They might find the root of the problem, but I definitely think it's worth booking in with your GP, trying to get a mental health counsellor, and definitely getting in touch with some organisations. I'll definitely leave some organisations down below that will help you out, because maybe there's someone online that you can talk to. I know going to a GP and opening up to them is super scary, and as you just said, you're scared that people will judge you, but the organisations below will just make you feel super comfortable, not freak you out, make you feel as though this is very normal, what happens to everyday people. But I'm glad that you're being honest with yourself. A lot of people would just deal with this and think that it's something everyone goes through, so I'm glad that you have seen that there is something wrong, and hopefully you can put an end to it. Obviously I can't do much for you, I'm really sorry that you're going through that, but maybe the encouragement to go to your GP and seek mental help will, I don't know, benefit you, hopefully. Anyway, this one is a whirlwind, so buckle your seatbelts. I was talking to this guy back in September for quite a while. It got to nearly a relationship point and he told me that he loved me, and I totally rejected him due to my fear of commitment, lol. Literally 2 days after we reduced our talking, I started hearing rumours that he was getting with this other girl. He's got a boy reputation, not gonna lie. I kind of ignored them, but then later they became an actual relationship. Obviously I cut ties with him ASAP, but he kept pushing to talk and saying that he wanted to stay close until the relationship fizzled out. Ew. It's super up, I know. I didn't keep talking, we remained friends and hung out a few times, but nothing big. But at Christmas his girlfriend went back to Spain where she lives, as we go to a boarding sixth form school, and him and I met up a few times, but with other friends. Over lockdown I got friendly with the girlfriend and him and I remained friends. The other day he popped up and said that he wanted more from me, and he always felt more comfortable confiding in me rather than her about anything sexual. He keeps telling me all this stuff which I ignore, and I feel awful for his girlfriend, but I just don't know what to do. I didn't want to inject myself into their relationship, but I don't know her well enough to tell her without it being weird. What do you suggest I do? I do agree with how you shouldn't ingest yourself into their relationship, but you already are, because remember this is a guy that you used to see / talk to, and the fact that he's confiding in you for sexual stuff, he just wants to be like, he just wants to talk about sex with you because it excites him, and he likes the fact that he's got that claim over you still, because you're always going to respond because you're like, well, we're friends. It gets to the point where you have to stop being friends with that person, especially for the girlfriend. You might not see yourself as the issue, you might see him as the issue, which he is. I'm not victim blaming here, I'm not blaming this on you, but because you're responding and being a good friend to him, he's just going to keep doing it, and as much as you tell him no, he's obviously just a dickhead. Like, he obviously is, and he's not gonna listen. Sadly, I feel like he'll probably do this to another girl. Like, he'll probably find another girl to do it to as well, to piss off his girlfriend. That's a sad point. His girlfriend doesn't know. She has no idea. Personally, I wouldn't tell the girlfriend, because I don't think it's anything big enough to tell her. It's not like you slept together recently, it's not like you've done anything together, kissed, flirted, do you know what I mean? If anything, you're just answering his questions, being a good friend. I would hate if I found out about this, but I think you should just bring it to an end. I think you need to cut ties with him. He's not bringing anything into your life. By the sounds of it, it's just a bit of drama that he's bringing into your life, nothing positive. I really, really feel like you should take one for the team here and leave them to it, you know? Not that you're the problem, you literally aren't the problem. Sorry it's a long one, but me and my ex broke up over a year after he cheated on me multiple times and I kept sticking around. I know I'm stupid, but after we broke up, he moved straight onto his new hoe. We can't degrade women, guys. Come on, we're better than this. I understand the frustration, but we can't. Good for them, take that boy away from me. I don't need that energy in my life. I reached out to an old friend who I want to work with, and we now talk every day and flirt like crazy, and I've caught feelings, which is bloody typical, but I don't know if he actually likes me or if it's just because we are in a lockdown. He calls me beautiful and gorgeous every day, but when I say, oh, let's tell people we're talking, he says he doesn't want to tell his family until we're out of lockdown. I'm worried he might be embarrassed of me, or do you think I'm just being paranoid? Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. I'm doing amazing, thank you. So, it's a bit difficult. I feel like you are being paranoid a little bit because you're going to have paranoia. Your ex cheated on you multiple times, and I feel like you never got that closure. The fact that he got a new girlfriend straight away and you've never really had time to properly heal because you just immediately had to see him with someone, it's gonna build up doubt in your mind about other people, because you're just gonna have this expectation and this worry. It's so sad when someone does that to you, when someone makes you feel so awful and belittled that it just carries on for the rest of your life, subconsciously or consciously. A lot of us are very aware. I think if anything, the most you can do is just say to him, like, do you really want this, or is it just a lockdown love? Like, I've heard of that saying, is it a lockdown love? And it's usually where people can't do typical dates because obviously everything's not open, and they can't meet naturally because most of the people are meeting online. And I don't personally see an issue with meeting online. I've met a lot of people online and they are my very close friends, or I've dated people online, so I don't really see lockdown love as a bad thing. I just think ride it out until everything's open again, and then you can see if it is just a bit of a lockdown thing. I mean, the real test is going to be when everything opens back up and life goes back to normal, and I guess you'll just see if he sticks around. Hopefully he does. I'm really hoping for your sake he does, but I don't know. If you're impatient, ask him. There's no harm in being honest with each other. Honesty is the best policy and it really helps relationships, so just ask him. So my dilemma is a long one, so apologies in advance. You could probably make a whole video out of this. Oh my god, I'm excited about this one. Not that you have a dilemma, but I'm excited that it's pretty long. So I was going out with this lad for a total of 3 years, but he cheated on me since we were together 3 months and moved to college in a different country. Oh my god, since your 3 months he was cheating on you. 2 3/4 of a year. Jesus. I found out he was basically having relationships with girls as one of them texted me. Stupid me, I stayed with him for another 2.5 years. Don't blame yourself, girl, we've all been there. I was really mentally unwell, so instead of growing balls and ending it with him, I started talking to my ex, who had a girlfriend at the time. We used to meet up when nothing would happen until me and my boyfriend ended, and then me and the lad who had a girlfriend basically had a full-blown relationship. As far as he was staying nights in my house, this went on for 4 years, and he ended it at Christmas and is still with his girlfriend, but I really miss him and have strong feelings. I nearly told him I loved him. I also lost my virginity to this boy when we first went out. I know this is probably the most toxic thing you've ever read, but how do I get over him? We also now live in the same town, so I see him all the time. Miss Thing, this is a mess. This is a whole mess. Oh god. I mean, it is really difficult because, as you said, you lost your virginity to him, you used to be with him, and I'm very glad that you got rid of the boyfriend that kept cheating on you, but I also need to remind you an ex is an ex for a reason, especially when they have another girlfriend and you have a boyfriend. If anything, I'd rather you have just completely ended the relationship. I know it would have been tempting because you would have been in a relationship and it's comfortable for you to go back to your ex. He's comfortable with you, you're comfortable with him, you've already had sexual relation, you lost your virginity to him, so you have a lot of trust in him, I assume, and also that kind of attachment that people have when people lose their virginities to someone. But personally, bad move from you. Just because your partner is cheating on you doesn't make it right for you to cheat on them. You should have just left them. I also don't agree with how you went back to your ex when they've got a girlfriend. But is there even a but here? Why am I saying but? I personally think you just need to leave both these boys well alone. Like, I get that some exes can be the one, but he's with someone else. You don't do that. Don't try and sabotage their relationship or tempt him in any way. Just leave them be. I feel like you need to just leave everyone in the situation. In terms of getting over him, I feel like time heals all, and cutting him off is definitely going to help you out of that situation. It's just going to stop reminding you of seeing him with his new girlfriend or the girlfriend that he's been with for however long. If you're talking about the guy that cheated on you, it will honestly hurt for a long while and take such a long time. As I said, time heals all. I mentioned this in one of the other tub talks, but I guess seeing your friends, distracting yourself with other hobbies, going traveling as well. It might sound stupid, but now that everything's opening back up and we have a green list and everything, if you are financially capable enough, then go traveling. I feel like it might be a bit hard to do that at the minute because there's only a certain amount of places on the green list, so I feel like going on holiday might be a bit expensive right now, but I mean future plans. If you want to, just go. I feel like you kind of just need a big change. Change always helps me. As I've said previously, I have moved house numerous times. I even went to uni just for a big change. I didn't necessarily want to go for an education. I just went for a big change. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. I met the most insane friends that are my friends till I die, I feel. Starting YouTube, that was a big change. You just need a change in your life and to cut those people off, and it will take time. I'm not going to say it's an easy journey. Getting over someone is hard. So you got this though. It is possible. You were fine without them before, so you'll be fine without them after, I promise you. Oh my arse is killing. Oh, it's nice to change position. Someone's brought the cousins into the tub talks, guys. I knew it wouldn't be long. Before the whole pandemic situation, I slept with my 6th cousin, twice removed, in the disabled toilets at my great aunt's wedding reception. Then a few weeks later, we started talking just as friends. I only saw him once throughout my childhood, so it was like I'd never met him before apart from the time that we had sex. Over time, we became really close, and we found out that we had friends of friends. So when the first lockdown was over, we all met up. I also moved out to uni, so so I accidentally moved closer to him. In the second lockdown, we would sneak around each other's flats and I hate that word, but they would have sex basically. And then we began doing it in parks and fields. Why, when you do it in a house? I then began to air him because I felt guilty that he was still kind of family, but when he found out I was picking one of the same courses as him, he began to talk to me again, and now I think I'm in love. I'm 19 and he's 26, I didn't expect that one. And everyone in the family thinks he's gay. That's interesting, isn't it? Because he's actually shagging his cousin. I mean, he's your 6th cousin. Realistically, are you related? I don't think so. Like, normally in my videos, when it's nothing to do with culture, I'm like, oh my god, you're sleeping with your cousin, that's really gross and it makes me want to throw up. But it's your 6th cousin. I feel like that's literally barely even related. They say you're not even technically related to your 2nd cousin. You are, but bloodline wise, like how your genes are the same, etc. For example, if you had a child with your 2nd cousin, it wouldn't have any complications because of how distant the bloodline is. I don't know. This isn't me encouraging sleeping with your cousins. I don't agree with it. But you're saying you feel guilty at the fact that he's technically family, but I feel like I could be friends with someone who's my 6th cousin and I'd have no idea. I don't know, girl. I don't know. So I'm in a bit of a pickle with my best friend. She's one of my favourite people and I love her to pieces. But there's just one thing I can't seem to accept. We had a very similar one to this in one of the other videos. I'm intrigued to see where this is gonna go. She is hiding how close she is with my ex, who was awful to me, and she saw and helped me through the heartbreak. Oh my god, I hate friends like that. Oh, I really, really do. When I say hide, I mean when she messages him, she hides her phone. And if she's sending Snapchats, she does the same, so I can't see that he's at the top of her best friend list. And I managed to see, and my heart honestly sunk. I don't want to say anything though, as she's the kind of person who will think I still care, which, ew, I don't. Girl, I feel you. I just feel heartbroken at the fact that she's doing this and hiding it from me. She also has very flirty personality, so I'm low-key scared about what's actually going on between them. But yeah, I want to confront her, but I also don't want to make things awkward or hear something I don't want to hear. Oh, babe. I've honestly been in that situation and it's a really difficult one. It obviously, to me, it depends on how long it's been, because there has been situations, for example, where someone who is a friend of mine has spoken to my ex, but it's been so long and I don't care for them or have any kind of attachment to them that I'm like, cool, like, you do you, I generally don't care. Just because I'm not with them anymore, they're not mine, I'm not theirs, they have every right to do what they want. If they're happy with someone who happens to be my friend, then cool. I don't have any qualms to that. However, the fact that this is your best friend, I completely understand. It's just girl code, like friend code, human decency code. You don't go for someone's ex when they're your best friend. I would never personally go for anyone's ex if I'm friends with them, unless it was like an acquaintance and I already knew the person I was talking to before the acquaintance, do you know what I mean? But when you've introduced them or something, oh my god, it honestly is the biggest ick of mine ever. People can just be so mean. I think confront her. As much as it's gonna hurt, you will honestly have the biggest cry about it, but as much as it's gonna hurt, it's gonna help you heal from it. I obviously don't know how long you've been broken up with your ex for, but as I said before, he's an ex for a reason, and maybe this was fate. Maybe your best friend had to meet you to meet him. Sounds really, really shitty. I used to have the opinion of anyone that spoke to my ex who hurt me, like, you watched me cry about him, how are you friends with him, or how are you seeing him? And then I'm just like, I kind of just need to get over it. I need to stop living in the past and stop letting things from my past hurt me. And eventually I just didn't care, which is why when friends of mine have spoke to an ex or got with an ex of mine, I don't have any feelings towards it. I'm just like, that's life. I'm happy if you're happy. Don't also care in the same respect, but cool. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's hard. I'm not going to deny that, and it's completely up to you and your judge of character. You can either distance yourself from that friend and let them do what they're doing, or you can be like, this isn't cool. Personally, I agree with the second option, but it's completely up to you. So that is it for today's Tug Talks Ruby Girls. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to leave any dilemmas, then click the link tree in my description. There you will find the people's diary. If you have a confession about something, I don't know, a bit of a tea-filled secret that you want to confess. If you haven't seen the people's diary, then definitely click the eye up here. There is so many episodes out for that and plenty more to come. The Tug Talks forum will also be down below, as well as every important link possible out there. If you guys do have any important world topics that you want me to raise awareness for, then please leave a comment down below and I will leave a link on my link tree for more information for people to read. Aside from that, I love you all so much and I will see you in the next video, Groovy Girls. I didn't do it!